How y'all doing? This is the Wandering Texan. So this is my first attempt at recording out in a public place because, yeah, it's a little intimidating to be that weirdo talking to his phone and feels a little arrogant. But here we go. So it is raining currently, hinted by the umbrella. One thing to keep in mind, if you're doing public transport, if you don't have a vehicle, and even if you do, you're just taking a short distance to your apartment from the car, man, you need an umbrella everywhere. Bring it everywhere. If you're in Taipei especially. If you're in Kaohsiung or a little bit farther south, I've only been there once. It was in February, so it wasn't monsoon season or typhoon season, but it didn't rain much at all. But Taipei here, it has rained almost every day. Then again, typhoon season. A few things that you would never consider doing in the States. Just leaving a bike here, a rental bike that I'm responsible for, and then just wandering off without locking it. You can do that here. You can do that with your own personal bike. So it's been kind of crazy getting used to a few of the things. Some things where my brain just melts. One of which being the fact that you can take a bike or a rental bike or just really almost anything that's not like crazy expensive and just leave it out in the open. Nobody's going to touch it. Apparently the penalties for stealing here are pretty high, but there's also I've been told that there's like a cultural thing about that too, which is that, well, if you're stealing, you must be real low class kind of thing. That's just what I've been told about the culture. If you are going on public transport, then there are a few things that make it a lot easier to figure out. One is you do not need an ARC card or a residency card to rent a bike. You just need an Easy Pass, or Easy Pay card, which is what you use for the friggin' subway. Now when you go on the subway, you can just go up to the information center. They got them in every station. And you can tell them, you just pull out some money, Taiwan money, and pull out your Easy Pay card, and they'll just load it up. And if you don't have one yet, you just pull out some money and you point at one of the cards they have in the window, and that's it. It's as simple as that. If you give them a lot, like 1,000 NTD, they might ask you if you want change. They usually speak enough English for short little conversations like that. If you were trying to do small talk or something, it would be a little bit more difficult. So I'm in the north of Taipei right now, and apparently temple's up here, real nice. That's just the roof of a temple next to me. As I was saying before, I'm just a crazy person walking down the street recording, so I might get some looks. I'm going to turn back around so I'm not passing so many people. Another thing that I need to keep in mind while recording here is that apparently if you record a kid and they are distinguishable at all from that recording and you post it on social media, you can be sued. So keep that in mind. If you notice that a lot of my videos out here start being not in crowds, or if you start just seeing random blurs of people's faces, or if I do something fun with it, like place them all with machikos or something, I don't know. But when you almost never see a locked bike, like a well-locked bike. Sometimes you see a bike where the wheel is locked to the front of the bike, the front fork, just so somebody can't literally bike off with it. But I see bikes unlocked all the time around here, and I never notice them getting stolen. In fact, when I go to a shop or something, I don't lock my bike. I just park it out front. Nobody touches it. That's apparently very common around here. It's really cool. And this is the road I'm walking down right here. But yeah, always bring your umbrella. If you're biking, get yourself like one of those big raincoats, like the guy in the scooter that's about to pass me. And Here he comes. Like, talking knee-length raincoat. That's the kind of thing you want here if you're biking, or if you're on a scooter or a moped. Farther out to the outskirts you get, a little bit more chaotic the traffic gets usually. And at the same time, more cars you see. You see a lot more cars. And it still blows my brain that I can just leave my bike back there, my rental bike. But that's what I'm doing. Get these beautiful bits of scenery here. In fact, it's not raining too much right now. But yeah, so if you take a taxi, apparently the middle ground that the taxis worked out with Uber was that you could hail a regular taxi with an Uber, with the Uber app, I mean. So if you need a taxi and you are a Megwaran, an American, if you look American, most taxis won't stop for you unless you hail them with the app. And the reason why is because most of them don't speak any English, really, except for like hello, goodbye, thank you, that kind of thing. And the other part of it is that they a lot of times can't read English, like alphabet. They read characters. And that kind of blew my mind, but you know, it's a thing. And wandering up this random hill. Check out the temple, guys. Ooh, that's actually really cool. The more you get out into kind of the sticks, the more you see temples. Kind of reminds me how, like, in the States, the more you go out into the middle of nowhere, the more you see churches everywhere. Well, same thing here, by the looks of it. I have seen a lot less temples in Taipei than I do in Kaohsiung. Kaohsiung didn't have many, if any, but Taipei has. Kaohsiung had a whole bunch of them, like around every corner, but Taipei has not many, if any. Oh, there's a carousel I wasn't aware of. I'll have to go check that out. But yeah, so beautiful up here. You gotta like the rain, you gotta like the humidity. And if you're from Texas, it's essentially Texas weather, just a little bit more humid, not quite as hot. I mean, it's about 10, 20 degrees cooler over here usually than it is in Texas. But, yeah. Here's a little bit of a majorly unscripted video. I just thought that I'd update y'all in a public setting so y'all can see like the foliage and just kind of what it looks like to wander around. I'll be posting. I'm gonna be posting a more no context vids. So the NCVs, although my no context videos, literally just I see something. It does not need any kind of narration. It's not necessary. So I just post it up. Just kind of little snippets, usually of traffic, because that's what I'm kind of amazed at around here, is that the traffic very clearly has rules, but they're not always clearly stated if you can't read the signs very clearly. Because, you know, if you don't know characters, it's real hard to know. There's some real easy ones to learn. Entry, exit, prohibited, things like that. But, if you pay attention, you can figure out at least some of the more basic characters pretty easily. Actually passing some signs right now, and this little let's see, apparently plugging it into Google tells me that means don't. It's not like prohibited, but it's like don't. Then let's see, we got another one up here. And apparently this one here, if it doesn't have that box around it, or hard to tell on the camera, if it doesn't have this box around it, apparently it means like product. if it has the box around it, if I understand it correctly, it's I think shopping district. There's going to be some people that see this who know the characters better, or who know them rather, and sorry, so but I'm trying. Up here, that is no, that one up there, that's little. That's Zhao, which is just, it means little. A lot of times you'll see it used for children as well, like little people. But just kind of, if you start paying attention, you can find out some of the more basic characters. Scooters everywhere around here. It's really cool. But that's about that. I will post up more as time goes on. And as I get more comfortable posting in public, hopefully these videos will get a lot more interesting and it won't be as much me jabbering.